and welcome to today's video, in which I'll be telling you about my experience seeing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for the second time and reviewing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child: The Journey. This all happened really quite quickly. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child: The Journey was released on the 31st of October, and I just about read it and filmed the review for it. And then on Friday the 8th of November I found out that I had won Friday 40, and I was very excited for the following Wednesday, so Wednesday the 13th of November. So I, bought tickets to be able to get transported there and back from London, and went to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for the second time. It's been a very Cursed Child filled week. I also wanted to find out if the Wizarding World Gold pin badges were already available for collection, which unfortunately they weren't, but they should be from now on when the video is being uploaded, because they all kept saying, oh yeah, next week. So hopefully, if you have Wizarding World Gold, you'll be able to get them from now on. If you do have Wizarding World Gold, all you need to do to get discounts in the places that you can get discounts in is show them your app, and that if you click the logo, it goes through that cycle. And the same goes for picking up pin badges, I assume, but they weren't available yet. First thing I did in London was pick up the tickets to make sure that I had them, and then I went to Plethora & Three-Quarters, where I got just a single thing, a new thing I believe, and I got the 10% discount for Wizarding World Gold, so it's already starting to return. And what I got is this really pretty stocking. It's very, very soft, and it's meant to cost £20 usually, but I got it for 18 because of the 10% discount. Soft on the inside as well. I then went to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child Part 1, which I noticed there was a slight changing in the phrasing from the script, particularly in scene 19 of Act 2. I believe, but everything else, it was wonderful to see it again. It's just a beautiful play. The story doesn't make any sense, but it's really wonderful. Yeah. I then had a chocolate frog, and my chocolate frog card was of Mr. Bertie Bott. I then went to have lunch and went to the house of Mina Lima, at which I also got a discount, and they're all decorated for Christmas already. Here are a few shots of it because I really found it so pretty. This Christmas decorations, I really did love it. Harry Potter. What I got there was this new thing called the Gallery Guidebook, which just basically goes through a lot, if not all, of the graphic designs and things you can buy in Mina Lima. It's really, really pretty. I do really like it. It's £10. And I also grabbed the Unlucky Dip at the till last minute. I just went for a blue one because it's Ravenclaw. I haven't opened it yet. I'm interested to see what's in there. You can kind of see through it a little bit, but not enough for me to know exactly what I've got. And you can feel the shape. And the Unlucky Dip is £10. Oh wow! That's not bad. I think I got was a Fenrir Greyback magnet, wanted poster, the Spectre Specs Quibbler edition card holder, and the NSPS postcards, which I just bought on my last visit to Mina Lima. But if you were to buy these things separately, I think you'd have to pay, I'm not sure how much the magnets are, but it is around £10 because the postcards are now £5 and the card holders are £3.95. So I mean, if you don't know what to get from Mina Lima, it's just a nice selection. I do like it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the postcards, because I do already have a set, but maybe I'll give it as a gift to someone. We'll see. For some reason, I got it stuck in my head that part 2 starts at 7 PM, not 7:30, so we then rushed to get some lunch, and then took a shower, and then realised, oh, we're early. So I then got some stuff which I was planning on getting during part 2, either before or in the middle anyway, but this is what I got. First of all, this hoodie, I do really love it, and it is £32. It's quite expensive, and the Wizarding World God discount doesn't apply in Cursed Child, I believe. And I also got the black Harry Potter and the Cursed Child pen, because I really do like these pens. They're quite hefty and only £3.95 each. And the brochure, which is now glossy instead of matte on the outside, and has the new logo on it. Oh! And there are keys to scan in the Wizarding World app. I haven't looked for it yet. I was just looking for it now. And there's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, The Journey ad in here as well. Let's scan the keys. I didn't know they were here. Part 1, scan before the show begins. Oops. Well, I didn't realise that they were here, but let's see. There's the video of the Voldemort and Value salute, which was funny to see Scorpius struggling with, because it is really just simple. Now that I've seen the video they uploaded on Halloween. The Voldemort Day video. I am dumbfounded. They actually filmed part of Cursed Child and put it in the Wizarding World app if you buy the brochure. I have to say I was really doubtful going into the Wizarding World app, but it's actually quite ingenious, because if they were to upload it to YouTube and only give you a link to access it and have it unlisted, then you'd just need the link which people could share with other people, and it wouldn't be as hidden. But in the Wizarding World app, it's only if you have the brochure, and that's more difficult to share with other people, and it's only in the app, so it's more difficult to download. And I was not expecting this in the slightest. Nevertheless, that isn't where my Cursed Child antics stop this week, because I also got Harry Potter und das Verwunschene Kind, which is the German version. I got the script for €20, which is about £17, and I will now be studying it very, very carefully, so that when I do go to see Harry Potter und das Verwunschene Kind in Hamburg, I will be throwing myself in the deep end, but with armbands, hopefully. And it's very similar to the English one, to be honest. The only thing is it's Carlson and it's in German. And I also bought my Harry Potter und das Verwunschene Kind tickets this week. So, Cursed Child for the week. I'll just show you a comparison of the old brochure and the new one. As you can tell, that is quite a difference. Obviously the logo's changed, and they've put J.K. Rowling's over the top of it. And the story continues on stage instead of parts 1 and 2, and the Cursed Child is slightly smaller, but it's very similar otherwise. Oh, and the spine just says Harry Potter and the Cursed Child instead of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child parts 1 and 2. And obviously there's the Wizarding World thing inside, which I am so shocked by. Oh, and it's slightly differently designed, the journey to the 8th story. And obviously different cast photos. Something which I found quite interesting was that the actual tickets still have the old Harry Potter and the Cursed Child logo and the old Pottermore logo on the back. They do also have Wizarding World, but that's from like a couple of years ago when they just introduced the new Wizarding World logo instead of the WW or the wands. So that's pretty interesting. And now, here is me reviewing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, The Journey, which I filmed even before I knew I was going to see Cursed Child again this soon. So I hope you enjoy that. Hiya, and welcome to today's video in which I'll be reviewing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, The Journey. On October 21st, this book was released. I don't know why October 31st, obviously it's an important date in Harry Potter, and I guess the climax of Cursed Child happens during October 31st, 1981, but it's not, you know, the most important thing about Cursed Child, though I understand how it is important. Wow, that was an oxymoron. It's behind the scenes of the stage show, basically. I have read most of it, not all of it. I skipped over some of the parts I find slightly more boring, like costumes. But I did really enjoy it. If you want just a short summary, overall, I think it's good for people who really like theatre or Cursed Child. not so good for casual Harry Potter fans who've maybe seen Cursed Child once, like I have. I would have preferred it to be slightly different, personally. And I'm going to put it down now because it is quite heavy. It does go through why Keep the Secrets was around. They created the slogan, obviously, to, you know, make the stage play be exclusive. But the badges they created because there were previews in which they invited people, or I think the general public was also allowed for like ridiculously high prices. And then they wanted the press to not know what happened because they were standing outside of the theatre, so they gave people the Keep the Secrets badges, and that made them point to the badge if any journalists asked them what happened. The foreword by J.K. Rowling is nice. She explains how Cursed Child got started, basically. It's a nice little touch. The photos in the book I do really enjoy having, because there are quite a few high quality Cursed Child photos, and those are quite difficult to find, obviously, on the Twitter pages, but in general a bit more difficult. They tend to reuse the same footage over and over, whereas these seem to be different. I haven't actually checked, but they seem to be. Some of the photos though, like this one, I don't quite understand. Obviously it's the start, which makes sense, but it is quite low quality and they're all making fairly weird faces. I'm not sure why they chose to put it in there. It is split up into really lovely chapters with lovely graphics in between. I think the chapters are pretty much perfect. Every page is filled with words, pretty much, unless it's a photo. So it kind of deters people who are more casually into Cursed Child from buying it, I guess, if they just see loads of words, because it is a lot of reading. I was expecting something more like Harry Potter Film Wizardry or The Case of the Beasts or The Archive I have up there. I'm not sure if they're in frame. I was expecting something more like that with pull-out posters and stickers and things. It's not bad that it doesn't have them, because this is Little Brown and not Bantam Press or Mina Lima, but that's just what I was expecting going into it, and if that's what you're expecting, it's just words and pictures. It does go into quite a lot of detail, which is lovely, more so on how they developed it and the costumes and the actual stage than the sort of tricks they pull off, which is what I was, you know, most excited for to read. But again, that's brilliant for people who love theatre. I really love that the photo they chose for music was the Troy Witch with her extended nails. They do go over the magic quite a bit, but it's a bit vague as opposed to what I was expecting. It's a sort of, oh, well, we need to make sure it's exactly timed right and the lighting is exactly right and then the magic works, not this is exactly what we do, we have a platform underneath the stage and whatever. I will also just say it is quite focused on the original London cast and the Palace Theatre, not much so anywhere else. It does have a little mention of the other places later, and I don't know if it has a mention of the other cast. I'm not very good at keeping track of cast, but if you're interested more in the San Francisco or New York or Hamburg, or then maybe not this one, then maybe this book isn't for you. They'll probably release other ones later. It does really help to relive the Cursed Child feelings though. I think does a really good job of that. It is raining quite heavily, so if you can hear that, I apologise. It does really bring back a lot of the Cursed Child feelings, which is wonderful because it is expensive, but it is really, really magical to see it. And if you have the time and money to see it, I really would recommend it at least once. It is a beautiful play. Terrible story, I agree with that, but beautiful play. It is also really nice to have all of the graphics for Cursed Child in one place because they tend to get quite scattered. So it's a wonderful, wonderful book, especially for a coffee table book or for people who love theatre or for people who are Cursed Child lovers, not haters. It is wonderful. I did learn a lot about theatre through it, and I do really love it. It's just not quite what I was expecting, but I was still surprised in a pleasant way with what it was. I obviously understood that it would have to go into every aspect of the theatre. It just didn't spend as much on tricks as I thought it would, and was quite focused on London and the first cast, I believe. It does have various casts in the back page. I'm not sure if that's just for the book. Again, I'm not very good at keeping track of the cast. Overall, I would say it is a really good celebration of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child so far. It will continue for quite a few more years, I expect, especially in London. It's still being sold out, so I don't think it will stop anytime soon. And it is a nice celebration. Hopefully there'll be more of these for the different places. I don't know if there will. But I do like it. It is really pretty. Fits with the Cursed Child theme. This one's black and gold as opposed to their usual gold and black, which makes it stand out enough to be able to tell that it's a side book, not the script. Overall, I do recommend it. Right now, as of filming, probably not anymore when I'm uploading, I'm sorry. It is available for £18 in Asda if you're in the UK. You know, 25, 28 elsewhere. 35 is the recommended retail price. If it is still in Asda, go get it. I reckon £18 is a pretty good price for it. People did put lots of work into it. It is easy to tell that it's not one of those books for children, which they also have a certain amount of care put into them, because they need to be, you know, language that children can understand and pictures and whatnot. But it's comprehensive, but also really detailed. And I do like it. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye! Harry Potter und der verwunschene Kind. Das verwunschene Kind. I don't know. Yeah.